Yo, good morning, Loud and Proud fam. I hope you guys are doing absolutely awesome on this fine morning. It is starting to get warmed up here a little bit, and I am feeling so much better out here. Yesterday, guys, I do apologize. Even my mom made a comment about the video. She's like, the vibe just seems like down. Like, I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't seem right with the video. And I understand, like yesterday, I don't know what it was, but I could not get my groove. I couldn't get into like my hype, like my motivated self, I guess you could say. And it was just kind of like a down. I was feeling like it was just a down day. I was like, this sucks. What am I doing? Do I even want to paint this topper? Like what? You know, I don't know. It's just kind of it's tough to come up with video ideas every single flipping day and deliver for people. But it's also kind of sucky when it's like you're trying to do it every single day and then you got to film one video that you kind of like you want to do, but you can't get yourself to want to do it, if that makes any sense. So I don't know, it was just a weird vibe. But all in all, today we are back and we're gonna get back into the groove of things. We got the old pap cap on there. Somebody liked to call it in the comments yesterday, and I honestly like that name, the pap cap on the dually build. So we're gonna call it that. We're gonna call it the pap cap. It doesn't look too bad, you know what I mean? Obviously that's still shiny. We just put it on, you know, last night. But overall, I mean, it's not bad, you know, it doesn't look bad at all. But what I am gonna do today, because I have driven the truck a few times in the salt, is I'm going to, since it's been about a week since I've washed it, I'm gonna take the pressure washer. I had to have it in here with a heater, 80 degrees blowing on it all day yesterday to thaw out the hose because it was frozen full of water. I'm gonna get that and I'm going to completely pressure wash down everything that I can reach on the frame and the body and just get that all washed out. But we are going to continue to fasten down the bed cap. There's only 2 clamps on it right now. There's some hardware over here, and it was just a really pain in the butt trying to get those things to thread out and figure out how I was going to fasten that to there. My dad said I can probably just go by like a Menards, AutoZone, or whatever and just get some C clamps and clamp it down that way, which could work. I just feel like, you know, the bolt with the lock washer, you know, I feel like that would be a better route for, like, you know, more secure, but in the same sense for a little bit more quick detach, you know, style of clamp, a C-clamp would be, I guess, more ideal, something that I can use easily but I can still lock into place. See, I'm gonna see if I can use these first. If I can't figure out a way to use these bolts that I have sitting right there, then I will just go buy a C-clamp. But also, guys, you're probably wondering, dude, what's with the AFE power box? I've got some goodies, and believe it or not, there's like $800 worth of stuff in that box. I'm not gonna show you everything today because we're not gonna have time to do everything today. Yesterday I got way behind on my video schedule, and I was editing faster than I'd ever edited before. I tried to get that video up to you guys on time, and I think I got it up at 7:05, so it was 5 minutes late. So forgive me, those of you who like to be right on time, but overall I got it done, and it was just kind of a rush though. But I'm gonna get some of these parts out of here and set them aside so you guys don't know what they are, and then we'll get to just the intake itself. Hey guys, so I got this crazy idea right now. Okay, so we've got this top right, and the old saying goes, if you can't fix it with zip ties, you're just not using enough zip ties. So what we're gonna do, as goofy as this sounds, and yes, I will find a better solution, but for the meantime, in the meantime, I'm legit, no joke, I'm about to freaking use zip ties to fasten down this topper, at least good enough for the time being. Okay, now I know you guys probably think I'm crazy, but here's the idea that I had. I just ran the 3 zip ties through here. I'm just gonna run 3 of these up and fish them back through those 3 and pull them down as tight as possible, and I'll show you when it's complete. Okay guys, so I know it kind of looks a little bit funny, but believe it or not, the freaking zip ties are the goat, man. I mean, look at that thing. I think this topper ain't going nowhere. I put 4 zip ties. I was only gonna do 3. I did 4, okay? I made sure that there was plenty of holding power on all of these spots. And yeah, I think we're golden. I don't know about you, I think we're golden. That topper seems to be on there pretty doggone good, and like I said, we do have big clamps at the front here, at the back, whatever you wanna call it, whichever end you wanna call the front and back. But yeah, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna be done messing with this area of the truck today. It's a big day for the dually 12 valve. Everybody knows one of the first horsepower / just efficiency mods that you get for a truck, because it just makes sense, is a quality cold air intake. Now AFE is not sponsoring me for this video. However, if you guys want to pick one of these up in the exact same location that I did, I get freaking pretty much all my parts off Amazon. I know some people down in the comments like, oh, Amazon parts are cheap. Amazon does not make these truck parts. So keep that in mind before you start jumping to conclusions. Amazon does not make any truck parts, actually none. All they are is basically like an eBay per se for companies. All different companies from around the world can put their products on Amazon's website to sell them there. That's all they're doing, because Amazon brings in tons of people because they offer 2-day shipping and all this other stuff. So that's the only reason. Amazon does not make these parts. AFE Power is made by AFE air filter. So just keep that in mind. Just because I say I got my stuff from Amazon, they're not Amazon parts. So just keep that in mind. But guys, this is going to be freaking stoked. I'm gonna read through all this stuff again and kind of see just how efficient this is supposed to be before I start saying any numbers and then they mislead or something. I'm gonna get to disassembling the factory air box, get that thing out of there, and then we're gonna get this in. But look at the factory air box, okay? Look at that. I mean, guys, this thing is about to breathe. We got some more stuff coming in too, so just stay there, stay sitting tight. Lots of stuff here coming very soon. Let's get this thing taken out of there and get the new one started to go in. That is another reason why I love 12 valves and Cummins in general. Look how freaking quick I was able to get rid of the airbox. You might think, oh, well, that's an easy project. It should always be easy. When you get into stuff like freaking the new 6.7 Powerstrokes and crap like that, guys, it is a pain in the butt to even get that crap situated, especially if you don't work around those a lot. But let's try to get this, let's get this all assembled in there and kind of get it installed, and then we will kind of go through, I guess, what it's actually supposed to do for the truck. But let's kind of go through really quick the parts, just so you guys have a good idea of what all we're actually dealing with. Here's some rubber boots. Here's your air filter. I'm gonna keep this wrapped up until it's actually ready to go in, just so we don't, you know, tear anything or anything like that. Metal bands here. Here we go. We got the main air box itself. Like, I'm freaking so stoked. Here's your cap for the top. Now, this is the real reason I bought this. All airflow numbers and everything aside, this freaking dope looking cover. Oh yeah, right there. That's an added 25 horse right there. Just this cover alone, that's 25 horse. It's gonna go right on there. Just like that. Ho ho ho, yeah. No, all jokes aside, I didn't buy it because of the cover. I really did buy it just because it was one of the best high performing cold air intakes for this truck for the money, so that's why I went with it. Cold air intake because it's designed to only draw air from this, you know, airflow section in the panel, and not just all of the air under the hood, which if you're just breathing in a lot of hot air, you're going to have, which some guys don't mind, you're gonna have more black smoke and you're gonna get a little bit less horsepower gains, and not a little bit less, you're gonna get, to be honest, quite a bit less horsepower gains and breathability out of it. Effective breathability when you're just breathing in a bunch of hot air versus when you're using this and you're getting a bunch of cold air. Lots of cold air makes horsepower. So that's the whole point of these, is horsepower and efficiency in general, not just pulling in more warm air. So that's the reason I went with these versus, you know, just a big honking air filter or something like that, because as much as those do work and they are going to benefit the trucks to a degree, more than factory, overall though they're not really like the best option. But if you are on a budget, then yeah, they're definitely, for the money, they're not that bad. So I'm gonna get this aimed up in the truck and kind of go through it piece by piece with you guys and get put together. First thing, you are going to have to, if you have a four-wheel drive, which most of you guys, I would assume if you have one of these trucks, they are more than likely four-wheel drives. If you don't, then you don't need to do this, but if you do, you have to. If you look underneath here, underneath this box, if I can show you right there, this hole was not there. But the reason you have to have this hole is due to the strut sticking up out into the engine bay. So you've got your pre-drilled holes here, here, and here. Sorry, you didn't even see any of those. This one, and that one are all pre-drilled already there. But there's one that you have to make yourself, and that is this hole right here. And I just use a 3/4 inch bit, and there's actually an indentation right there on the block that comes from the factory that says, you know, basically where this indentation is here. You want to make your hole basically right next to that. And then what will happen is your box will actually be able to sit down in there. Otherwise, with that thing in there, it, you know, pushes your block way up and then it doesn't fit properly. But other than that, we can get to the installation. It's pretty self-explanatory, and they also give you some hardware, some washers, and some nuts. And these are for down in here. Let me just kind of show you really quick, because after this part, I mean, it's pretty easy to do. You just put your washers over these studs sticking up through there, and they give you the nuts as well. And then all you're going to do is take those nuts, thread them on, and tighten those down, and that'll keep your airbox very stable. So let's get into this. It's pretty easy from this point on. Just kind of stay tuned, watch the time lapse, and when we're done, I will go through and kind of explain what I did. We got this all assembled, we got the airbox in, gotta just tighten down some bolts, got all the bands on, now we just gotta put on the air filter. Goes your KingRanch. Okay, so I got this all installed, all the bands I tightened down. I didn't put this on yet though, so I can show you the filter itself. Yep, looks pretty good. I'm so stoked. It's a dry filter, but I got all the bolts tightened down on the bottom. But now what I'm gonna do is just run the little Allen head style screws in on the top, and then after that we're pretty much good to go. Got her all installed. Looks pretty good. Pretty excited. Now I just gotta make sure the hood closes. And after I make sure the hood actually closes, then I'll kind of run down and tell you what it's supposed to do for the truck itself. The only problem I see is this freaking crap falls down and hits this dang thing. But you know what? Let's do the delete of the stupid thing up here. I hate these things anyway, so let's really quick get a good old delete in for the day and get rid of that trash thing. It's just wonderful. But dang, that already looks way better. I just got to pressure wash that off, you know, but look at that crap. Luckily there's not actually mice in the thing. It's disgusting. Yeah, looks good, looks good. Let's get this thing fired up and take the truck down the road and see if the GoPro will happen to cooperate. And if it does, get you kind of my reaction and let you know kind of what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling, you know, different in terms of the new intake. So let's get the old girl fired up and see how she performs. By the way, guys, I thought I would really quick mention that this is supposed to increase on a stock truck. This is supposed to increase 7 horsepower, 14 foot-pounds of torque, and is supposed to outflow the factory airbox by 88%. So take those numbers for what they are. That's just what they say on this truck. Well, guys, let's hope the GoPro cooperates this time. We can get an actual video here while driving the truck. Guys, this truck, you might think I'm BSing. This thing freaking moves. I want to see what my 0 to 60 is in this truck, just sheerly out of curiosity. Get my 0 to 60 timer going. I don't have my timer going yet. I'm going to try to get my timer once we get to the top of the hill, so I'm not timing myself going uphill and it's flat, then I'll do a time there. I'm not going to start off in first. I know a lot of guys would probably recommend starting out in first. So I got no cars behind me, no cars in front of me for about a mile. So right here, get her in second, and go. Crummy 0 to 60. I'm not fast with my shifter. I'm still trying to figure out my clutch let off and like acceleration thing to get it synchronized properly. That one was 12 seconds. Let's do another one. I don't know if I think I can get it down a little bit better. I'm just gonna watch my topper too and make sure it hasn't moved. Everything looks solid still. So the downshift sounds really good. Definitely see how you can get a faster time with a built automatic transmission though. It's definitely not the fastest thing having to shift through these gears, especially if you don't get it down perfect. I'm gonna set it, ready, go. Freaking missed the button on my timer when I got there. I'll try it one more time by our house, but that one, when I looked down and I was going to hit it, it said 13, but I missed the button. And also you have to think, I'm losing about a second or two, no joke, and I'm not just coming up with excuses, but I'm losing a second or 2 seconds when I have to do the timer myself, and downshift into fourth, because I have to look down, hit the thing, then go, and then start to let out of my clutch and take off, versus like if I had, you know, my dad in the truck, he could have the timer, and as soon as he can feel me letting out of the clutch and grabbing the ground, like on the road, you know, then he could hit the timer and go, and I can focus on this and not having to turn it off and everything else. So, not trying to come up with the biggest list of excuses, but I mean, those are respectable scenarios. Although it's kind of uphill, so it's a little bit out of my advantage, but let's get it in a second, and go. By the time I look down, it's 13 again. But I guess we'll just say this. Right now my truck's running 0 to 60 in about 12 to 13 seconds. Which isn't like, it's not impressive. Our 7.3 does 9 seconds, but it also does 9 seconds when somebody's holding the stopwatch and the other person's solely focused on driving and making sure they don't have to look down and shift and, you know, whatever. But I'm not really dissatisfied. 12 seconds for trying to run the stopwatch myself isn't terrible. But yeah, not new turbo, new turbo, not yet. Coming soon, but not yet. But yeah, the new intake definitely sounds good. Really, the thing that it really helps with, that I can tell for sure, I hear a lot more turbo noises. One of the biggest things, to be quite truthful with you, that I hear just a lot more turbo. Even right now, you just hear the turbo running. I freaking love this dually, okay? Like, I'm being dead honest, I love driving this truck. It was kind of weird driving the dually the first day or two of owning it. That's kind of like, oh, this kind of is like, ooh, it's a lot of vehicle for the road. But in all honesty, it's nothing after a few days of driving. You just kind of get used to it. It's just freaking fun to drive. And just the 5-speed is fun. Now, like I said, it's not like the most ideal thing for, like, if you're looking to go fast and make, you know, record times and stuff like that. A manual's not the best option in these trucks. But for me personally, I just wanted the manual. I'm not looking to set record times and stuff like that. I just wanted the 5-speed manual because they're cheaper to get power out of than they are having to buy a new automatic transmission and then beef it up and all the other crap that you got to do. It's just cheaper to add a ton of power to a manual and to get those power, you know, to get those power numbers out of it. I'm looking more for horsepower numbers, but not necessarily track times and stuff like that. So just to kind of sum it up, just so you know, in the comments, like, oh, see, that's why you should have gotten automatic. That's why I wanted a manual, because it's cheaper to get a lot of horsepower out of. But guys, let me tell you, if that wasn't a test to see if this topper would stay on, I don't know what would be, because that thing is still snug, perfectly where it's supposed to be. Hasn't slid forward or back, anything. Perfectly aligned. And like I said, I'm using zip ties right now. This thing is held on by, well, 2 heavy-duty clamps on the back end where most of the weight would be sliding against. So there's all that, but it's most of those hold down points are zip ties. They've got 4 zip ties, 4 60-pound rated zip ties on each spot. So we've got 4 here on the inside, 4 here on the inside, 4 across, and 4 in the back corner. And so I mean, if you do the math, I mean, now of course there's zip ties, not bolts, but I mean, that's a pretty good amount of holding weight for all those locations for the weight of that cap. So I honestly don't think it's going to go anywhere. And to be honest, I did 3 0 to 60 poles in this freaking big Bertha here, and there was a lot of, you know, weight, you know, just being rocked back as soon as you set that throttle down and you start moving. So to be honest, it held on. It didn't move it didn't move a lick. No kidding, it did not move at all. That's cool. That's good to know. Let's look under the hood here, make sure all of our bands and everything are holding up. We don't have any kind of, you know, issues under the hood. But it's like, man, I'm still impressed that these things don't melt under here, you know what I mean? Like right up against that turbo and everything else. So, well, I guess they are designed to, you know, sit right here, but man, everything's good. The bands are all good on there, tightened down. Definitely happy about that cold air intake. Like I said, we got a couple more boxes of parts sitting right there, so you're gonna have to stay tuned. Well, everybody, that is going to wrap up the video for the day. It is getting down towards my shutdown time for the day for the video, and it's getting closer to 3 o'clock, and you know, that's just kind of my thing. I know you guys are probably thinking, oh, you only work from, you know, this time of the morning to 3 p.m. and the rest of us work till, you know, later, like after 5. Well, no, I stop working on my truck around 3, and then I have to edit videos from typically around 3:30 to, you know, 6:30-ish in the evening, sometimes longer, just kind of depends on what's going on. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought of the, you know, installation of that. Does it look good? I think it looks good. And that turbo, it sounds so good with that new intake on it. And by the way, link to that cold air intake will be in the description below if you guys want to check one out for your 2nd gen Dodge. AFE makes all kinds of stuff. You guys, if you haven't heard of AFE, I don't know where you've been in the automotive and industry at all. If you've ever looked at air filters or anything like that, AFE has been around a long time. That's what we run on the 7.3. That's what we run on my dad's KingRanch, and now that's what I'm running on my truck. We've loved them, never really had any issues with them. So yeah, link in description. If you have not yet, leave a like on this video, leave your comments below, join the team, join the family. It's a team, baby, loud and proud. That's where it's at, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Doing what I love, going day to day, but I know it takes time and I'm patiently waiting. Sometimes I contemplate, cause one day you feel so close and the next is out of sight. But I know I gotta hold on tight to go back to just going out every night. Like if I'm about to let it go now, I can live alright, live a normal life, doing 9 to 5. But I know I'm more than that. I gained this skill, wasn't born with that. At the end of the life, it's a memory.